All right, guys, thanks for tuning back in. So today we're going to be installing some fender extensions that come from Extreme Online Store. These are a gloss carbon fiber. They do not require any drilling. They install with hardware that is already on the car. Now, these come with 2 fronts, 2 backs, and 2 of these pieces. Now, this is a rear fender extension piece, and you can tell that because there's 3 holes. 1, 2, 3. If you look at your car, in the front portion of the wheel liner, there should be 3 T15s on your rear wheel well. Now, this piece will install on the bottom of that one, like that. So your 2 holes here will line up. And then this is actually going to be part of your body that sits in this little channel right here. Now, here's a look at the front fender piece. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4 holes. That's how you know this is a front piece. So the quality of these pieces look really nice. The carbon fiber looks nice. The finish looks very good. The installation does not look like it's going to be difficult at all. Again, this installs with hardware that you already have on the car. The front is 4 T15s. The rear is 3 T15s. You do not have to drill anything. You do not have to cut anything. Now, one thing I will say is if you have an aftermarket splitter or side skirt, there may be a little modification to get these to fit, but we're going to go ahead and mock these up on the car. We are running an aftermarket chin spoiler and side skirt, so we'll see how well these fit with what I have on this car, but let's go ahead and get to the installation. All right, here's a look at the driver's side front fender, and you can see there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 T15s that are screwed into the wheel liner. We're going to go ahead and remove those right now. I've just got the wheel turned towards the passenger side, and then I've got it just slightly lifted up. The tire's not even off the ground. So I'm going to go ahead and take these 4 screws out, and then we'll get this fender extension put on. Okay. All right, so I'm going to take this flat piece right here and just kind of tuck it up between the fender and the wheel liner as best I can without scratching anything. And then once it's up in there, I'm going to slide this end to the mud flap. Now I've already got these screws out. I'm going to go ahead and reattach these. We'll tighten these up and we'll see what it looks like. And that's it. The front one is installed. All right, so we've got the fender extension installed. It fits really well. The curvature of the fender and the bumper is pretty much perfect. There's no weird gaps where it meets up anywhere. The installation is super easy. You use hardware that's already on the car, so you don't have to make any new holes. You don't have to drill any new holes or anything like that. You don't even need to jack the car up for the front. All you need to do on the front, if you're on the driver's side, turn your wheel all the way to the passenger side. That will give you the access to the 4 T15 screws that you need to take out. And then back here in this portion, the flat piece that kind of sticks up just tucks in between the fender and the wheel liner. Super simple installation, will take you a couple minutes to do on the fronts. One thing I did want to say though, I know on the C8s, a lot of people have either gotten wider wheels or even put spacers on their C8s to kind of poke the wheels out so they sit flush with the fender. Now with these fender extensions, that is going to kind of defeat that, and it will kind of make your wheel look sucked back in, even though it's really not, but it will kind of make it look like it sits inside the car even more. So just keep that in mind. But overall, happy with this piece. The quality of the carbon fiber is nice, the finish is nice, and the installation is super simple. Okay, so I've got the car lowered off of the jack. I've got the wheel turned full lock, and you can see I've probably got at least an inch of clearance between the bottom of this fender flare and the tire. So I don't think you're gonna have any rubbing issues. I checked it, turning it the other way. There was no rubbing issues. So I think the front's gonna be good to go. Let's go ahead and move on to the back. Okay, so this one, I do have it jacked up and I took the wheel off. I figured it would just be easier to get in there to remove these 3 screws right here. So we're gonna go ahead and pull these out the rest of the way. Now, I also want to show you what I was talking about, that little tiny piece that comes with all this piece here. So you can see how it has this channel where the body is supposed to sit, and you can see that angle there is supposed to be right in here. Well, because of the ACS side skirts I have on there, that is already covered. So that's not going to be a flush fit, as you can see. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this. I think I'm going to probably just not going to put this piece on first and see what the fender extension looks like. And then we'll see what it looks like, and maybe throw that piece up there. But let me grab that other fender extension real quick. So let's see. And it's just going to be the same thing. You just kind of tuck these flat spaces up between the quarter and the wheel liner. And if you need to get like a plastic trim tool or something to help push that up there, you can. Actually goes up there relatively easy. Okay, so here's the issue I was talking about. Because of this side skirt, that is not going to sit flush here. So I'm going to have to do some kind of trimming or cutting on this. And unfortunately, it looks like it's probably going to have to be cut somewhere in this area to get that, to be able to seat this bottom screw. But I can slide this back just a little bit. Okay. Now that's a little bit better. Let's see where my holes are. Okay, so that's actually not too bad, really. That angle right there kind of lines up, and I almost really don't need this piece here, to be honest. And it's really not going to sit on there very even anyhow. So, because of this side skirt. And I'm not going to remove this side skirt because it's riveted on and it's on there pretty secure, and I want to keep these side skirts. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably have to Dremel off this lip here where the ridge is. That way this will sit flush against the wheel liner, because all the holes are lining up. But I can tell it's just not sitting quite flush right there because of the side skirt behind it. And then there's just no way that this piece is even gonna sit on there right, because this portion of the side skirt will not allow this to go up any further. And I really don't need that with the way that that side skirt is. So I almost may put kind of an angled cut on this as well. I'm not really sure yet. I'm gonna go ahead and screw this down and then just kind of put the wheel back on and check the fitment and look at it a little bit and then go from there. Okay, so here's a look at the back fender extension piece. Again, the curvature of this piece fits the body really good and the bumper really good. Now, both these pieces stop where your factory mud flap starts. This one, I did have to jack up the back of the car and remove the wheel to gain access to the 3 T15s, just because the car is lowered, and then I do have a bigger wheel and tire back here than what comes on the car. If you are running the factory wheels and tires and it's not lowered, you may be able to get in there without jacking the car up, but on this one I did remove the wheel and jack it up. It just made it easier. But again, the installation is super simple. All the hardware that you need for installation is already on the car. And then again, back here, this portion just slides up between the quarter panel and bumper and the wheel liner. So again, it's not permanent. If you like it and you want to keep it on for a while, it's going to do just fine. It's pretty sturdy. If you get tired of it and you want to take it off, it's not permanent, so you can just remove the screws and pull this thing right out. Super simple. So the back took a couple minutes longer than the front because I had to jack it up and remove the wheel. But again, the back doesn't really make the wheel look as sucked into the car as the front does. It's not, I guess, as perpendicular. It's more at a steeper angle, so it doesn't really look like the wheel is sucked in as much. And then as it gets here, it almost flattens out with the bumper. But again, the quality of the carbon fiber is very good. The finish is very good. So if you guys are interested in these parts, I will put a link in the description. You can check them out. They come from Extreme Online Store. That's going to be it for this one. I appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next one.